Hey, welcome. This is All Astrology. Let me light my sacred sage. This is the video for Sagittarius Ascendant, Sagittarius Rising. If you are a Sagittarius Sun or a Sagittarius Moon, you can also listen to this reading. Understand that the Moon sign represents your inner emotional security, okay? If you're listening for your Sun sign, understand that this is all about how you express, okay? It is your vitality. It is your uniqueness and how you shine. Sagittarius Ascendant, Sagittarius Rising. This video is more specifically for the end of January. We have a new moon coming up on the 24th of January. I have already recorded a video for you. Specifically, it's actually a video that encompasses all the signs. So if you watch that video, you will see where the new moon happens in your chart, and how this is going to affect you and where to set your new moon intentions, what energies to use. And I pale it out as to, I explain all the support that we're receiving from Mercury and the Sun and from Jupiter and the kind of energy that we're going to be getting in and how you can utilize this for something new in your life from the universe. Now, let's talk about Venus and Mars. That's what this video is about. Venus is in Pisces and it's going to be squaring up with fiery, I'm taking this into my own hands, Mars, all right? Venus is all about beauty. Venus is about love. So when we see the sign of Venus, we think about relationships, right? Could be business relationships, could be work relationships, could be the relationship with myself. Venus is about what I value, my tangible physical love, but also at a higher level, it is about the non-physical realm. It is about the 5D world because Venus is conjunct Neptune in the sign of Pisces. Now, normally, Neptune and Venus get along really well. And it is because of the fact that they both represent love. Venus is physical, tangible love. Right? Venus loves nice things. She likes shoes. She likes to go shopping. But Venus loves relationships. Okay? She wants to be in a relationship. She's willing to compromise. Venus is all about those things. She is also about my money and my income and my resources. Now, right now, being conjunct Neptune in Pisces, Venus takes on a whole different look. It's not that she's a different person, but other things are important to her right now. Okay? It is things that are in the 5D realm, not the 3D, but the 5D, that all of a sudden take precedence for her at this time. It's not to say they're not important to Venus, but they become more important. And it's more about, if we think about the Pisces energy, Venus and Pisces is about solitude and relaxing and like taking a chill pill, right? How to escape, how to go to the other side, how to break through the veil, go to the other side and commune with source, okay? How to become one, not with a physical being, but with a non-tangible being. That's what happens with Venus when she goes into Pisces. Now, they both represent love. Like I said, Venus is the physical, tangible love. Pisces, Neptune, right? Because that's the ruler of Pisces. Neptune is also love, but it's on a much larger scale. Pisces is about understanding we are all one. What I do to you, I do to myself. What I do to myself, I do to you. We are all in this together. That is Pisces. So Venus takes those essences of those traits, she takes them on and they become important to her at this time. So Venus is more about, I need things that aren't so material, physical, and tangible to help me feel closer to that which I cannot see, right? Feel closer to source. Feel, Pisces is like the meditative energy, all right? Pisces is a very creative energy. It's music, okay? It is also related to liquids because it's water, all right? So Venus wants to indulge in things that make her feel good, things that help her to escape, because that's what Pisces, the 12th house, is. It's that escaping energy. Not so much to escape just for the merely, hello, Zoe, not just for just to simply, run away, but to escape because there is this divine love, this ethereal realm that we touch in with, and it gives us a sense of peace, which Venus loves. So Neptune and Venus very much have a lot in common. They use a lot of the same words. One expresses their energy at this level, and the other one is just an octave above it. So they understand one another. They can talk together. Venus at this time becomes very Piscean-like, which means she starts to become more like Neptune. All right. So this is a time when when Venus will be more, have a desire for the other side, have a desire for the higher, have a desire to maybe drink, right? Maybe have spirits, maybe have some alcohol, things to help her relax a little bit, to go to the other side, to physically feel less physical, right? So substances. So there might be a time, well, it is a time. It is definitely a time when those temptations will be greater. Where does this happen in your life if you are a Sagittarius ascendant, Sagittarius rising? And what is the square factor? How is that going to come into play here? Because it's Venus squaring Mars, all right? So Venus for Sagittarians, hold on, okay. Make sure the tail passed the wire. For Sagittarius, Venus is going to be all up in your 4th house. So what does this mean? Yeah, this is drinking at home, getting high at home. This is doing all those escaping things at home. And this is why for people who are Sagittarius, ascendant Sagittarius risings, this is why when you have home time, when you're at home, you find that you really actually need it, because that is where you rejuvenate, at home, okay? There is something there that it's a sense of retreating, and there's a sense of, I feel like it adds to my emotional satisfaction, emotional security. You literally can feel that there because you have Pisces in your 4th house. So you're also, and you need to be aware of this, that would also make you very sensitive at home. Piscean energy is like, it can be like an amoeba in a sense, where it can change, it can shapeshift. It can also take on energies that are present, meaning if you have other people that are around, you would have the ability to become like the chameleon, where you would take on other people's traits, qualities, and characteristics for the sake of wanting that peace, for wanting everybody to get along, right? For the oneness, for feeling like we're in this together. And so that would be a tendency for Sag risings. So you might want to be aware of that. If you're not, make some observations in your own life. When you do that, you're going to glean more knowledge about yourself than I or anybody else could ever teach you or tell you. What you want to also know, though, is the whole Mars factor, right? Where's Mars going to be doing this whole squaring off thing? Hi, pretty girl. How are you? Mars is doing this in your 1st house. It's in Sagittarius. So you have your 1st house and your 4th house. Okay, so for you, it's in the 1st house, right? You've got your Sagittarius rising, and well, Mars is in Sagittarius. Having Mars in your 1st house, you might have been, there's a couple different ways this can go. Mars is your body, all right? So Mars being in your 1st house adds to your physical vitality and strength. At the same time, because you have this extra rocket of firepower, right? It's the heat-seeking missile, so to speak. So you could be very assertive, very aggressive, literally becoming the astronaut, seeking experiences that you haven't had before, being the ultimate explorer. Mars there can take on a couple different ways. And the first being, because you have more energy, you might be doing more than you can actually do. In other words, you might end up doing so much you run yourself down, you run yourself ragged. So you'd want to be aware of that, all right? On the other note, having Mars there, when Mars gets present in a location of our chart that has to do with our body, because Mars is our vehicle, right? There can be a time where we may have a tendency to infections, cuts, bruises, stuff like that. And this would only be if something squares the Mars as it's transiting that house, your 1st house. So this is 16 degrees, Sagittarius. This is where Mars, 16, 17 degrees, this is where Mars will be squaring with Venus and Neptune at 16, 17 degrees. So today being the 21st, you're going to notice a tightening around the 24th, 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th is when it's going to be the most tight, the most stressful, all right? The most angular is where we have these 2 planets really butting heads, so to speak, because Venus wants something different than Mars does. And Venus is our feminine love energy. Mars is our very assertive, masculine energy of getting together, right? It's the heat-seeking missile, so to speak. So Mars typically, it doesn't, I don't like to associate gender with it because it's more of an energy. But typically people would say, traditional astrology would say Mars represents the male in your life and Venus represents the female of your life. Your Mars energy is within you. We all have masculine and feminine energies. So be aware that what you're doing with your body may not be so good because it's being squared by what's going on by the habits of Venus at home. How's that? Does that make sense? So you would want to be really alert and aware of your ability, your desire to have substances, to escape with the help of substances, to indulge in things that make you feel good, pleasurable things at home, understanding there's a direct square to your body because it's in your first house. Mars is in your first house. So that escape method, try to make sure it's things that are not going to be bad for your body. Otherwise, what you'll end up feeling, there'll be consequences you'll have to deal with, all right? Because it's a square. That's just the way it is. So take this knowledge and figure out safe ways for you to indulge, to have a good time at home where it's not going to stress your body, because typically the tension is going to be there no matter what you do. But at this point, when we have this kind of knowledge, it's more about minimal damage, right? So yeah, I'm going to indulge, but I'm going to indulge this way instead of this way, right? I'm going to do this and not this. This is something that I like, but it's not bad for me, where this is something that I like, but oh God, it just jacks me up. I know I shouldn't go there. You get it? Because at this time, with it squaring your physical body, squaring your first house, it's not going to be good. It could actually be quite bad, right? Depending upon if you have other things set up. So I would just, take these words and, put them to use and be wise. Just be wise and look out for your own best interest and take care of your body. That's really what this Mars squaring Mars comes down to. Although it's Venus squaring Mars, but in a sense anyway, you get my drift. It's what you're doing at home to your body, with your body, that squares your body in your first house, okay? So I hope this helps, but don't forget to check out the new moon video because it gives you more information as far as the support that we have at this time, because this all happens at the same time. And to just have it in two separate videos seemed a little bit more knowledgeable, made a little bit more sense, because then you can keep this separate, and then bring it together and have a clear idea of those dots and how they actually form the greater picture. So I hope this has helped, Sag Risings. Bye.